Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a reaction on Nasus, the creator of the Sands. If this is your first time to the channel, what we do is we're going to take a look at the biography and story first. We'll move on to the gameplay spotlight, and then we'll take a look at any cinematics Nasus will be in, and we'll look at the skins, Fandom Wiki, and finally end off with the voice lines and special interactions at the very end. So Nasus I know like a decent amount about because we have done a reaction to Azir, and we've done a reaction on Renekton. So Nasus was kind of next in line, which made kind of sense. So we kind of know a decent amount, but, there's obviously got to be some things that we haven't found out, and there's also going to be some things, that in the voice lines that maybe we'll discover as well. The quote here says, "For centuries I have watched, we approach a time of reckoning." Now, what I do recall about Nasus is he was the super smart one. Like, he's the really smart guy in Shurima here. And he kind of interests me the most besides like Azir. I guess Xerath too, but we haven't gotten to Xerath just yet. But I know Nasus is like extremely smart. Role is fighter, region Shurima. Let's see, related champions. Yeah, so it's just everybody: Xerath, Azir, Renekton, and Sivir. All right, the paragraph says, "Nasus is an imposing jackal-headed ascended, those heroic and godlike figures once revered by the people of Shurima. Fiercely intelligent, he was a guardian of knowledge and peerless strategist whose wisdom guided the empire to greatness for centuries. After the failed ascension of Azir, Nasus went into self-imposed exile, becoming little more than a legend. Now that the Sun Disk has risen once more, he has returned, determined to ensure it never falls again." Yeah. See, and Nasus honestly would be the one to do it. Obviously Azir too, but like you have to have somebody like Nasus around, I feel like. Nasus's brilliance was recognized long before he was chosen to join the ranks of the Ascended. A voracious student, he memorized and critiqued the greatest works of Shuriman history and philosophy before he was 10. However, his passion was not shared by his younger brother Renekton, who tended to bore quickly and fight with other local children instead. Nonetheless, the brothers were close, and Nasus kept an eye on Renekton, ensuring he didn't get into too much trouble. When he came of age, Nasus was welcomed into the prestigious and exclusive Collegium of the Sun. He had the best teachers in the Empire and developed a keen understanding of military strategy and logistics, eventually becoming the youngest general in history. While a competent soldier, his genius lay not in fighting battles, but in planning them. A deeply empathetic man, Nasus took his responsibilities seriously, always ensuring his soldiers were very well provisioned, paid on time, and treated fairly. He guided the Emperor's mortal armies to countless victories and respected by all who served beneath him. Sure enough, his brother Renekton also entered military service and rose through the ranks as a trusted and capable warrior under Nasus's command. But despite his triumphs and accolades, Nasus did not enjoy war. I would feel like somebody like him wouldn't, right? He understood its importance, for now at least, in the Empire's rapid expansion, yet firmly believed his greatest contribution to Shurima was the knowledge they could gather and preserve in the wake of each conquest. At his urging, all the books, scrolls, and teachings of the cultures they defeated were added to libraries and repositories throughout the Empire to bring wisdom and enlightenment to generations still to come. Wow, so the fact that, his greatest achievement to him is all of the knowledge they learned from other cultures. That's interesting. After decades of dutiful service, Nasus was cruelly struck by a terrible wasting sickness, and his physician solemnly declared that the general would be dead within a week. The people of Shurima were bereft, for Nasus was their brightest star and beloved by all. The Emperor himself pleaded with Sataka of the Ascended Host for the great man's deeds to be weighed before the Sun Disk. After a day and night, Sataka's emissaries confirmed that Nasus would be blessed with ascension. He would have to undergo the rituals at once, despite his infirmity. See, that's crazy. Like, if you're, I guess Shurima, if your people love you so much that they think, man, he needs to go through ascension, this guy is too beloved by all to die, we need to do something, and they go to ascension. That's pretty crazy. Renekton was now a war leader in his own right, raced home to be with his brother. He was shocked to find Nasus's flesh wasted away, his bones fragile as glass. So weak was he that, as Sun Disk's golden radiance streamed over the dice, Nasus was unable to climb the final steps into its light. Renekton's love for his brother was stronger than any sense of self-preservation. He carried the weakly protesting Nasus onto the dice and would willingly accept oblivion. Yeah, we read this in the Renekton biography as well, and yeah, that's such a cool story. However, Renekton was not destroyed as expected. When the light faded, not one but two god warriors emerged. Both brothers had not only survived but flourished. Nasus stood as a towering jackal-headed avatar of wisdom and strength, while Renekton was a muscled behemoth in the likeness of a crocodile. Nasus had been gifted powers far beyond mortal understanding. The greatest boon of his ascension was the countless lifetimes he could now spend in study and contemplation, though this would also eventually come to be his greatest curse. But he was more immediately concerned by the increased savagery he saw within Renekton. At the siege of Nashramay, finally bringing the city under Shuriman rule, Nasus learned that his brother had razed the Grand Library and massacred all who stood against him. Now see, the fact that he razed the Grand Library when Nasus is all about collecting, well, it's not, I don't want to say collecting, but gathering information from other cultures, I mean, that's not good to Nasus. This was the closest the brothers ever came to bloodshed, facing one another in the rubble, weapons drawn. Only under Nasus's stern, disappointed gaze did Renekton's bloodlust dwindle, and he turned away in shame. Man. War with the rebel state of Acacia changed many of the Ascended. The horrors they witnessed left them hollow and quicker to anger. Nasus undertook centuries of solitary study as he tried to comprehend what had happened to his immortal brethren and what it could mean for the future. When the ascension of Emperor Azir went terribly wrong, Nasus and Renekton were both far from the capital and returned with all haste, but they were too late. Over the bodies of countless Shuriman dead, they fought Xerath, that twisted, malevolent being of pure energy who had betrayed Azir, yet were unable to slay him. Filled with rage and perhaps seeking to atone for Nash Ramay, Renekton wrestled Xerath into the tomb of emperors beneath the city, bidding Nasus seal them in. You know what I really say? I mean, I always say this every time we read a biography or story. This needs to be a cinematic. Like the fight, like the whole thing of, you know, the ascension of Azir and then Xerath betraying him. Like a really cool cinematic, like well done, money put into it. And then like Nasus and Renekton returning, trying to stop Xerath, and then them eventually, you know, putting Xerath and Renekton in a little cave or whatever, or in a prison. Like that, come on. Like this is like a pretty big deal in the world of Runeterra that I think deserves its own cinematic. Nasus refused, desperate to find any other way, but there was none. With a heavy heart, he committed Xerath and his brother to the fathomless darkness for all eternity. Even if like they added it to like one of the yearly cinematics, but I guess at this point, do they do older stuff in their cinematics? I guess probably not. Drained of its power by Xerath's sorcery, the sun disk fell, and every remaining god warrior felt its loss in their immortal heart. The divine waters flowing from the city's oasis ran dry, bringing death and famine to all Shurima. For a time, the other Ascended tried to hold the fractured empire together, before their countless rivalries led them to fight among themselves. Withdrawing entirely, Nasus bore a heavy burden of guilt, stalking the empty ruins that were slowly being swallowed by the desert and lamenting everything that had been lost. Centuries passed, and Nasus all but forgot his former life and purpose, until the moment when the tomb of the emperors was rediscovered by mortals and its seal broken. He did not know how, but he knew Xerath was free. Ancient vigor reawakened in Nasus, and yet even he was stunned to see Azir reborn, and the sun disk raised once more from the sands. Though Xerath was still a grave threat, Nasus knew the new God Emperor, would have great need of guidance and counsel in the years ahead, and hope stirred within him for the first time in millennia. Did he dare believe he might also be reunited with his beloved brother Renekton? That's a lovely biography. Yeah, and I mean, I've mentioned this in past reactions. I always like not to say that other champions are dumb, but I always like the really intelligent champions, because it's always interesting to know like what they think about and how they think about things compared to like other people. And just to compare them to like some of the other champions and just see like how different they are because they're more intelligent. It's always interesting to me. I like these kinds of people. All right, our story is called Ouroboros, which I know is like the snake eating its own tail thing. All right, so we have some italicized and non-italicized. So it says, Nasus walked at night, unwilling to face the sun. The boy followed in his wake. How long had he been there? Those mortals who caught a glimpse of the monstrous vagabond always ran, all save the boy. Together they wove a path through the bygone tapestry of Shurima. Self-imposed isolation chipped at Nasus's consciousness. The desert wind howled around their malnourished frames. Nasus, look above the dune sea, said the child. Stars guided the pair's sojourn across the desiccated expanse. The old jackal no longer wore the armor of the Ascended. The golden monuments lay buried within the past. Now a hermit dressed in tattered fabric, Nasus scratched at his matted fur before slowly raising his head to observe the night sky. Okay, so I guess we're getting a glimpse of like that little part when after the fall of Shurima and stuff, and like what Nasus was up to maybe. The piper, said Nasus, his voice low and graveled. The season will change soon. Nasus put a hand on the boy's tiny shoulder and looked down into his sunburnt face. There he saw the soft lines and curves of Shuriman lineage, worn ragged by travel. When did it become your place to worry? Soon we will find you a home. Wandering between the ruins of an extinguished empire is no life for a child. This was the nature of the universe. Brief moments unfolded into the endless cycles of existence. The heady philosophy weighed upon him, but it was more than just another stone in his endless tally of self-imposed guilt. In truth, the boy would inevitably be changed if he was allowed to follow. Remorse darkened Nasus's brow like a thunderhead. Their companionship sated something deep within the ancient hero. We can reach astrologer's tower before dawn, but we'll have to climb, said the boy. I of course like that we're getting insight into like how Nasus is thinking about things. The tower was close. Nasus pulled himself up the cliff face, hand over hand. The climb memorized to such perfection that he took great liberties with each handhold, tempting death. The boy clambered up by his side, his agile form utilizing every nook and cranny offered by the blemished rock. What would happen to this innocent if I gave in to death? The thought troubled Nasus. Wisps of fog rolled through the crags of the upper cliffs, each threading the narrow rocks like tiny mountain paths. The boy scurried over the top first. Nasus followed. In the distance, metal clanged against stone, and voices could be heard through the haze. They spoke in a familiar dialect. Nasus was shaken from his reverie. The well at Astrologer's Tower occasionally attracted nomads, but never this close to the equinox. The boy stood perfectly still, his fear palpable. Where are the fires? Asked the boy. A horse's whinny pierced the night. Who goes there? Asked the boy. The words rolled through the darkness. A lantern sparked to life, illuminating a band of riders, mercenaries, raiders. Oh. The jackal's eyes snapped wide. Yeah, Nasus is about to take these people on. I mean, obviously he's not like a fighter like Renekton, but he's got to be able to fight, right? He saw 7 of them. Their curved blades remained sheathed, but the look in their eyes spoke of martial training and guile. Where is the caretaker? Asked Nasus. He and his wife are asleep. The cool evening prompted them to retire early, replied one of the riders. Old Jackal, my name is Maluf, said another rider. We have been sent by the Emperor. Nasus stepped forward, betraying the briefest hint of anger. Does he seek acknowledgement? Then let me give it. There is no emperor in this fallen age, said Nasus. The boy stepped forward defiantly. The dark messengers backed away from the lantern. Long shadows obscured defensive stances. Deliver your message and leave, said the child. Ooh, this is interesting. Malif dismounted and stepped forward. He reached a calloused hand into the folds of his shirt and produced a dark amulet bound to a thick black chain. The geometry of the metal sparked recollections of magic and destruction in Nasus's mind. Emperor Zareth sends offerings. We are to be your servants. He welcomes you to his new capital at Naramazeth. Ooh, so are these people working for Zareth? The mercenary's words fell on Nasus like a hammer on glass. The boy promptly knelt and snatched up a weighty rock. Die, cried the boy. Take him, said Malif. With a heave, the boy hurled the rock through the air, its perfect arc threatening to shatter mercenary bone on impact. Renekton, no, roared Nasus. The riders abandoned their half-hearted deception. Nasus knew then that the caretaker and his wife were dead. Zareth's greeting would come in the form of cold steel. Truth began to eclipse illusion. Wow, I had no idea that Zareth was like already out and about, and like I had no idea that he had people working for him. That's crazy. Nasus reached for the boy. The child tore into shadows of memory that dissipated across the starlit ground. Goodbye, brother, whispered Nasus. Zareth's emissaries fanned out, their horses bucking and snorting. The ascended was flanked on 3 sides. Malif did not hesitate, drawing his blade and piercing Nasus's side with it. Pain rippled through the ancient curator's body. The rider attempted to withdraw his weapon, but it wouldn't budge. A clawed hand gripped the blade, keeping it agonizingly buried within ascended flesh. Ooh. You should have left me to my ghosts, said Nasus. Oh my god, I feel like if I heard Nasus say that, like hopefully we get that voice line later, I would be like so scared. Nasus tore Malif's sword from his hand, shattering fingers and tearing ligaments. The demigod pounced on his attacker. Malif's body cracked under the jackal's enormous weight. Nasus leapt to the next rider, pulling him from his saddle. 2 strikes ruptured organs and stole the wind from his lungs. Dude, I love this. His broken form spun off into the sand, a ruined mass of agony. His horse reared and fled into the desert. He's mad, said one of the riders. Not any longer, said Nasus, approaching the mercenary leader. A strange fragrance filled the air. Dead flowers spinning on lavender-colored threads followed in his wake. Malif twisted on the ground. The broken fingers of his right hand withered, skin sagging like wet parchment. Oh, God. The barrel of his chest caved in on itself like a rotting spine fruit. White-knuckled panic overtook the remaining mercenaries. They struggled to keep their mounts under control, if only to retreat. Malif's body lay abandoned in the sand. Nasus turned east toward the ruins of Naramazeth. Tell your emperor his cycle nears its end. Oh, man. Yo, Nasus is a badass in this story. This is us finding out, like, this is like Nasus's, like, reawakening. He's like, huh? Zareth is out? That means Renekton's out. And so now he's like, wow, I have to take care of business. We got to get rid of, he's going to head straight towards Naramazeth where Zareth is. Wow. And you know, like at the beginning of the story, he's kind of just sulking and like walking in the desert with this little kid. And he's just kind of like protecting him and finding him a home. But then he sees this, and once he hears the word Zareth, he's like, excuse me? And he freaks out. Yeah, I love this story. Another one that I would love as a cinematic, but I understand. But very, very cool story. I liked it. All right, so we're going to take a look at Nasus's gameplay abilities next. The gameplay spotlight, obviously a little bit older since he is an older champion. So let's start off with the passive here. It's Soul Eater. Nasus drains his foe's spiritual energy, giving him bonus lifesteal. Okay, just lifesteal in general. Pretty good. Q is Siphoning Strike. Nasus strikes his foe, dealing damage and increasing the power of the future siphoning strikes if he slays his target. Oh. Let me see that in action again. Oh, of course they have him attacking Renekton. Come on. Okay, cool. It's just another, like, it's just a straight up attack, basically. All right, so the W is Wither. Nasus ages an enemy champion, decelerating their move speed and attack speed over time. Wait a minute. What? That's a crazy ability. He literally makes them old. That's actually kind of insane. Okay, the E is Spirit Fire. Okay, we're getting a little glimpse at it. Okay, it says AoE. It says Nasus unleashes a Spirit Flame at a location, dealing damage and reducing the armor of enemies who stand on it. Okay, so the armor gets reduced. That's pretty good. Not many champions that I think I've taken a look at have like an armor reducing kind of ability, so that's cool. All right, let's see the ultimate. It is Fury of the Sands. Let me look at it. Oh, he just makes himself bigger, it looks like. Okay, he probably attacks faster. Let's read it. Nasus unleashes a mighty sandstorm that batters nearby enemies. While the storm rages, he gains increased health, attack range, damages nearby enemies, has a reduced cooldown on Siphoning Strike, and gains bonus armor and magic resistance. Okay, so he himself gets a huge buff, and then it also says there's a sandstorm that batters nearby enemies. Cool. So if they're like in that little AoE section that he's in, basically is what it's saying. Wow. So he just gets a huge buff. He basically gets angry and just makes himself bigger and does more damage and takes less damage. Cool. Okay, so I mean, his role is fighter. It says difficulty's moderate. I mean, he seems pretty, you know, he seems pretty basic. I would say I kind of like, we just did a reaction on Diana recently. I think I liked her abilities a little bit more, just to compare a little bit. But there's nothing against Nasus. His abilities seem pretty good. He seems maybe like he's a little bit of a slower fighter, and he's a little bit more like he deals with taking away people's damage, or I mean, they're taking away people's armor and magic resist, slowing them down, that kind of thing, right? All right, I went looking for a Wild Rift video for Nasus. We've already seen the one where like Nasus and Renekton, there's like them fighting in the library, but I saw this, I guess, Dream Raider Nasus skin trailer. I just thought we'd give it a look. It's only a year old or so it's a newer one. What is it called again? Dream Raider. See, why are we getting trailers like this when I need one for his biography? Oh, whoa. I'm getting anime vibes from Nasus here. Now, is this a Wild Rift specific only skin? I think they've been doing that recently, haven't they? He looks really cool here. Is it Renekton? No. Is that Senna? Cool. I love this animation. Again, very like anime. But with like the riot flair, you know? Yo, I want more of this. This seems cool. I like this skin style. I haven't seen Dream Raider before. Oh, he made himself big, like his ultimate kind of. Oh, that walking through like the smoke background. Ooh. Yo, I want more of that. Whatever we just got was like super unique to me. I mean, I guess it was very much like an anime, which is cool. That kind of hyped me up. I don't know. That was a random skin trailer for Nasus, and I really liked it. Okay, so just a heads up for those that are watching this Nasus reaction, I've already done a lot of like the Shuriman cinematics specifically to like, you know, just I've watched them in the Azir and the Renekton reaction, but I'm not going to do those again. So we're just going to do like only Nasus specific stuff. So I think the only other thing that we might have here is this Legends of Runeterra reveal for him. So let's go ahead and give this a look. 2 minutes long.
I walk through the ages.
Nasus demands the ultimate sacrifice. Oh, I've heard his freaking voice a lot, I feel like. I don't know why. All right, so new keyword is slay. You get credit for slaying an ally or enemy if one of your cards kills it via damage strike or direct kill effect. So he's a 6 mana 2/2. Not very good stats there, bud. He has fearsome. I have +1/+1 for each unit you've slain this game. Okay, never mind. I see why. So you want to play him later in the game, mid-range to late game, and then he levels up when I strike for 10+ damage. Okay, never mind. He seems pretty good. He's a very mid-range to late game champion. So there you go. He's a 7/7.
What good?
Kai Reaper.
Greed. Punishment
Don't spoil your voice lines, Nasus. I want them later. What was that? Box something?
Judgment awaits.
Oh, I love the background music. I wonder if that's his theme. Got some good old Tom Kench showing up. Oh, there's Siphoning Strike. Cool. I like seeing the abilities as cards. I think that always really cool.
Expanse of eternity stretched out before me.
Ooh, okay. He's doing a little some baton action. I see you, Nasus. Oh, wait, we got to pause, see what his abilities are. Now he's a 3/3. He has +1/+1 for each unit you've slain this game. Enemies have -1 attack and minus... Wow, he gives all enemies -1 attack. And then level up when you've restored the Sun Disc. Oh, he has another level up. And he also has another ability here other than Fearsome. I don't know what that is. Is that the Slay thing?
Your spirit is hollow.
Mortals are ruled by their fear. He's a 15-11 over there. Jeez.
The Sun Disc
Oh.
rises and the cycle is complete.
Here we go. Sun Disc is up. Let's see that level up again. Does he have a second level up animation?
The wheel never stops.
There it is. Fury of the Sands. He gets bigger. Cool. All right, so that one, the second animation was better than the first. And now he is a 10/10 for 6. And enemies have -3 attack. I remember for the other Ascended, we were like, yeah, getting them to the third level up, though, is probably going to take a long time.
Return to dust. I enter
He's a
eternity
22/18. I feel like he's just your typical big creature in Legends of Runeterra. That doesn't necessarily make them good, though, to be honest with you. Because easy removal will just get rid of them. At least in like other games like Magic the Gathering and stuff. All right, very cool. We're going to be checking out the Nasus, Infernal Nasus login screen. I didn't see a regular login screen for him, which is a little interesting / odd. So I don't know if there is another one. You guys let me know about that. But we're going to listen to this. It's only a minute long. Infernal Nasus. So we're getting a little glimpse of the skin as well, of course. What's that sound? Sounds like it's like coming from the depths. Okay. Yeah, it feels very like villainous, I'd say. Oh, we're getting a choir chanting too? Where are these symbols around his neck here? That's it? I was expecting a drop or something. I mean, I thought it was pretty fitting for how short it was, too. Okay, yeah, like that noise there. What is that noise? Oh, I wonder how they made that sound and everything. It was a very short one, but I think it's pretty fitting for Infernal Nasus and everything. But I do wish we had like a regular login screen for him. I thought it was good though. Let's check out his skins. Now he has a decent amount here. I mean, I would say this is about average for I think like a champion that's about that old. So let's go ahead and look at the 3D models for all of them, and I'll let you guys know my top 3. I want to hear from you guys though, of course, and let me know your favorite skin. And of course, I've seen this model before, either via TFT or just some, you know, variation of it, of course. So yeah, I think the original designs, again, I have not had any complaints about original designs on any champion. If there has been one that you guys really haven't liked the original design on, let me know about that one in the comments. All right, we have Galactic. Obviously, these are some old skins at the beginning here. This splash art is terrible. It's not even a splash art, really. Like, imagine making that now. That'd be so easy. Okay, so it's basically kind of like a reskin, I would say. There's a little bit of extra armor, I think, going on here. He's not naked underneath. It looks like he has, like, chainmail, I want to say that is. I do like the color design on it, like this grayish blue. It's kind of cool, like a graphite blue almost. I do enjoy, oh, the big blue gem on the back is kind of cool as well. Crown or helmet still looks good. You know, we're just going to have better skins up ahead, but let's keep going. Moving on, we have Pharaoh. Okay, that's pretty fitting, obviously. That makes a lot of sense, let's be honest. Okay, ooh, I like the, is it a staff that he uses? I'm not exactly sure what his weapon of choice is called here, but okay, his weapon looks pretty cool. It is definitely a Pharaoh skin. I mean, he looks kind of scary. I don't know if I like the red eyes. I'm going to be honest. He looks like pretty scary here. Look at his teeth and everything too. I like how fitting it is for his champion, but I know I'm probably going to find some cooler ones up ahead. Okay, what else do we have? Dread Knight. Oh, he looks more like a werewolf at night or something in this one. Oh, I guess he's not as dark color here, but oh yeah, he looks like a barbarian werewolf, I wouldn't say. I guess or a Dread Knight. Sure, that works too. I do like the shoulder pauldron and then like this side not having any armor. That looks kind of cool in my opinion. I do like that. Anything on the back? No. I mean, he looks pretty scary in my opinion. It's pretty good. Like if you want to consider this like a horror themed kind of Nasus skin, I do think this one goes well with that kind of style. We're just speed running here at this point, guys. Let's keep going. We have Riot Canine. Okay, this is gonna be stupid. It's him in some police gear or riot gear. I mean, the police baton, sure. Listen, they were doing some funny skins back in the day, okay? I think this one is his helmet even has like a little microphone on it. It says Riot on the helmet. Oh, you know what? That makes sense because the game's made by Riot. Haha. Anyway, you know, this skin kind of sucks. I'm just not about it. I mean, there's better. Oh, and he's the dog that you would normally see with the police or the Riot people as well. So, I mean, cool. But yeah, it's not for me. Okay, here's the Infernal one, which had its own login screen. So this one, oh, wow. I was going to say, this one has to be pretty cool. Yeah, look at those shoulder pauldrons, man. And the freaking helmet with the horns. Oh, yeah, he looks like a character from Diablo or something. This looks pretty badass. Wow. The axe, I guess, too, instead of like, I mean, look, we just had a police baton. Now we're moving on to this badass weapon. Yeah, this skin is by far, in my opinion, the best that we've seen. We have a lot more to go, but yeah, this Infernal skin's really cool. Next is Archduke. Oh, so that's been Nasus the whole time in the back, right? Okay, I've seen this splash art like a million times. So let's see. Archduke Nasus. He's a gentleman Nasus. You know, we got the, oh, I like the, I guess this is like a cane now, really, kind of. I do like it. I like the outfit that he's wearing. It's very dapper, as they would say, right? I like the little monocle as well, the hat. I mean, it's kind of a fun one, in my opinion. Is it top 3 material? Maybe, but otherwise, I think it's just kind of a fun skin. Next is Worldbreaker. Okay, this I feel like is signifying where we're starting to get like crazier skin designs coming up. So, all right, let's start off with Worldbreaker. The splash art looks sick. Is it going to be cool? This looks kind of like in line with the cosmic ones. Yeah, this looks pretty neat, man. I actually wish his body was like kind of more cosmic, but I guess this isn't a cosmic skin, but he looks cool. Like look at the helmet, man. That helmet is fit for a king basically. The weapon is a little, I mean, the weapon's not bad. I do like the weapon. I wish the weapon was like more sharp instead of like these gears or whatever, the gear design. But other than that, the purple also I think maybe could be better, but I'm just nitpicking at this point. I think this is a really good skin. I'll let you know if it stays top 3 though. Okay, next is Lunar Guardian. Ooh, we got some skin design or some colorways down at the bottom, but let's look at the 3D first. Ooh, okay. Interesting. We're getting his hair here in like a smaller helmet. I like the little loop-de-loop thing that he's got going on there. It's kind of interesting. It adds nice flair. I like the teal shoulder pauldron. That's kind of like the teal colorway is kind of my favorite part of this, along with the teal in the weapon here. Let me see the other colors. I can do it from here. I'm not feeling the red. That one's not bad. There's something about it that I think is just okay. Do you know what I mean? Maybe there won't be any better than this, but there's something about it that I think is just okay. Next is Battlecast. Oh, he's like a giant robot or something. Let's look at this one. Oh, yeah, he's a robot version. I do like these, what are these called? I don't want to call them exhaust pipes because that's not what they're called. It's cool. He's a very like robot. He's a robot dog. Battlecast doesn't fit the name for him, I feel like, but that's probably a skin theme that I haven't heard of. The weapon's pretty cool, but I don't like the robotic, like the he's got a robo dog helmet. You know what I'm saying? Like we've seen this face before. It's not my favorite. It's good. It's better than a lot of the previous skins, but I don't think it's top 3. Oh, Space Group. Okay, we've seen a couple of the Groove skins before. They've made like top 4, top 5. This one, okay, what? Okay, I mean, I think for the lulz, this has to be top 3. This has to be top 3. I mean, come on. Look at this adorable little guy in here. Look at this guy. Look at his face. I'm not even a dog person, okay? I'm a cat person. This skin is fantastic. I love it. Do we have other colorways? Oh yeah, we have other colorways as well. Look at this. Yeah, this is fun. This is a fun skin. I think this one's really good, actually. What the hell? Yeah, wait. He gets shades as well? Okay. Yeah, this one's staying in the top 3. This is a great skin. Ooh, Armored Titan. Oh, I'm about to be interested in this one. I like me some Titans. Let's see it. Whoa. 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 Okay, now this is how you do, if you're going to do like an actual kind of Gundam skin, this looks like how you should be doing it. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I don't have any complaints about this. Let's see some other colors. Oh, that looks fantastic. Oh, what the heck? Okay, yeah. Wow. Dang, this Armored Titan skin is sick. I like how many colorways you got going on here. Like the secondary color is all the way around throughout the armor, and it looks really good even on the weapon. What? I like the back of the helmet too. It's kind of like a samurai helmet almost in a way. Wow. Yeah, this one's a really good skin. That's top 3 for sure. Okay, last but not least, let's see if it comes into the top 3. We have Nightbringer. We've seen some Nightbringer skins before, I believe, or Dawnbringer, Nightbringer. Oh, shoot. This one's pretty good. This one's pretty good. Oh, I don't want to bump out Infernal Nasus, and I also don't want to pick the 3 new skins. I feel like that's kind of a cop-out to pick the 3 newest skins. I just like how much detail and like flares there are to the armor on this. Oh, look at his eye as well. You know what I mean? Like there's just a lot going on here that makes it cool. I'm going to go back and let's pick our top 3. I'm going to try and see if there's one better than Nightbringer, but I do really enjoy the Nightbringer skin. Okay, in terms of top 3, there's nothing that's going to beat Space Groove, and I don't think anything's going to beat Armored Titan. It's really coming down to Nightbringer, and let's see, Lunar Guardian was just okay. Worldbreaker was also good. Infernal Nasus, though, was pretty darn good. You know what? I'm going to shake it up. I'm going to say Worldbreaker. We'll go with Worldbreaker being in the top 3. I just, it's not as cool as maybe as Nightbringer, but it's cool in its own sense. It doesn't have any other different colorways. I like it. It's cool. If you like the color purple, I think you'd like it as well. So yeah, we'll do Worldbreaker to round out the top 3. All right, let's check out the trivia on the skins page. It says there's an original Nasus. We'll skip over the original Nasus stuff. I feel like we just don't need to take a look at it. Now we have Nasus, the creator of the Sands, following the death of his original voice actor. Oh, I didn't know that. He is voiced by Eric Todd Dellums in both League of Legends and Legends of Runeterra. Dellums also voices Nasus in Shurima Descent into the Tomb and Rise of the Ascended. Infernal Nasus is voiced by the same voice actor. Okay, cool. So Infernal Nasus has some extra voice lines. Nice. Nasus is one of 15 champions that have an ability that infinitely stacks an effect. In Nasus's case, Siphoning Strike infinitely stacks the bonus physical damage of itself. Okay. Nasus Renekton is one of the 7 pairs of sibling champions. Nasus's Japanese voice actor is Juji Nakata. I guess maybe that's like they have like their own Wikipedia page, so they must be pretty important. Yeah, these are all basic, like just kind of like in-game little noteworthy things about Nasus. Nothing too crazy like lore-wise or anything about Nasus in this, but still pretty good information. Okay, not a lot going on the Fandom Wiki page. Like the background isn't really filled in or anything like that. So we're just gonna start off with appearance. Nasus is a humanoid figure with the head of a jackal. He is tall and muscular with glowing blue eyes and a body covered in short black fur. He wears golden ceremonial armor with teal highlights, and much of his body is wrapped in pale bandages. His staff is teal and gold with a brown leather grip. Personality: thoughtful and reclusive, Nasus is an imposing, solemn presence bearing all the power, wisdom, and sorrow that comes with the millennia of life. Primarily a keeper of knowledge, he is not one to rush to violence despite being a fearsome combatant. That's honestly like the ultimate thing to have people think about you, is like, you don't rush to violence, but you're still very fearsome in combat. That's pretty crazy. Okay, so abilities. Ascended. Nasus is one of the Ascended, also known as God Warriors or Sunborn. The Ascended are mortals that were empowered by the Sun Disk into immensely powerful demigods, blah, blah, blah. Immortality. So the Ascended do not age and do not need to eat or sleep. Barring beings of similar power, the Ascended cannot be killed. Regeneration. Nasus can heal from almost any injury in a matter of seconds. Superhuman strength. Nasus is much stronger than any normal human, being able to destroy buildings by merely punching them or break a man's entire body with his fists. That's very specific. Life draining. Nasus has the power of creating a life draining aura, aging them down at an extremely fast pace and reducing them to dust in a matter of seconds. See, now this one is very specific to Nasus. That's a very cool ability. Size shifting, also unique to him. Nasus can change size to become gigantic and destroy his foes. All right, so relations is going to be the pretty important stuff here. Starting off with the other Ascended. When the Shurima Empire still existed, Nasus fought alongside other Ascended hosts, including those that would later become the Darken. Nasus was a warrior scholar who spearheaded the military and cultural uprising of ancient Shurima, but Azir's misled arrogance led to the Empire's downfall, costing him his own brother Renekton. Nasus was forced to imprison his own brother with the betrayer Xerath, who would later drive Renekton into madness. After being freed, Renekton started to hunt down Nasus, believing he was the cause of all his suffering. Nasus hopes he can cure Renekton of his madness. Okay, I would love to see that. So that the United Brothers might defeat Xerath and restore Shurima to greatness together with the resurrected Emperor Azir. Yeah, wouldn't that be a badass to have the trio back together? All right, we have Sivir. Nasus first sought Sivir for her royal bloodline and finds in her hope of a reborn Shurima and the key to defeating Xerath. Nasus would later confront Xerath himself to buy time for her and Talia to escape alongside other citizens. Oh, interesting. What does that come from? That might come from like another story, maybe? Or is that just in general when Shurima's falling, he's specifically helping Sivir and Talia and Shurima escape? I wonder. Okay, and then Talia. So Nasus encountered Talia when she was protecting an injured Sivir. Nasus would later confront Xerath himself to buy time for her and Sivir to escape. Okay. Who is Maisha? It has a, is Maisha Zoe? Am I crazy? I didn't know Zoe. Wait, no. It has a picture of Zoe as Maisha here, but it says Maisha, the previous aspect of Twilight. Oh. Led the Darken Tanari to Nasus, who guided them to the Chalakar, the blade that belonged to the Ascended Queen Sataka and belongs to Sivir in the present day, which Tanari later used to perform a ritual that reverted the ascension of the nearby Darkens, vaporing them. Wow. Interesting. That's a very unique relationship there. Maisha, the previous aspect of Twilight. And then we have Rise. Long before Shurima rose again from the sands, Rise and Nasus delved into a ruined archive beneath the Great Sight and fought its awakened protector. What? I don't remember mentioning of Nasus at all with Rise. That must be like another story or something that we may have missed. All right, so scrolling through here, we have, you know, the biography we read. Oh, there's a short story called Bloodline. So this is the one that probably has Sivir, Talia. I see Xerath as well. Okay. Empires have Descended we've seen. Fall of the Empire comic. That might be something worth looking into. It features our 4 Ascended here. You know, Azir, Nasus, Renekton, and Xerath. And then we did read this short story. All right, just a tiny bit of trivia. It says Nasus is inspired by the Egyptian god Anubis. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Nasus is over 3,796 years old and less than 3,900 years. He fought alongside Sataka for 3 centuries before she died in the Battle of Acacia, which happened around 2500 BN or 3,500 years ago. Nasus is Renekton's older brother and both become ascended at the same time. Right. Rennek was one of the nations that belonged to the ancient Shurima Empire and was possibly located somewhere near the Rennek River. The siblings may have originated from here, and Renekton may have been named after it. I think, yeah, I know they don't like confirm that, but you know, just the name is called Rennek. It would make sense that they're from there. He may be immune to Amumu's power due to his power's connection to death. Okay, somebody let me know what that one's about. I don't know anything about Amumu other than he's the sad mummy, but there's some sort of connection with death, and maybe that's why, like, Nasus, I guess, is immune, possibly. The Ascension ritual takes a long time, and Xerath kept it going far longer than was normal, hence his body was all but obliterated, so that gave time for Nasus and Renekton to get back, and a day for mortals. Might only be a few hours for Ascended beings. Okay, so, yeah, we knew Xerath's body basically got obliterated when he went up there. All right, very short and sweet little fandom wiki we have here for Nasus. Somebody should go back in here, though, and maybe fill out some of the other information, but I think this is a nice read. All right, as usual, everybody, we're going to be starting off with the Legends of Runeterra voice lines first, and then we do have, it looks like, some of the older League of Legends voice lines in the game as well to check out afterward. All right, it looks like we only have about like 2-ish minutes of some voice lines in here, but let's get as much out of them as we can. I know I've heard some of these because, you know, we've reacted to Azir and Renekton already, but I'm sure there's going to be some newer stuff in here with, you know, Nasus. All right, let's get it started.
Oppose an emperor, face his empire.
Okay.
So much power, and yet you misuse it.
So,
That hold on, I'm already pausing. That is something that I feel like a smart person would say.
secrets do your tombs hold, Nasus?
Immeasurable wealth and terrible consequence.
Ah, yes.
Please.
I assume he's
remember, see
referring to
reason.
Renekton and Xerath.
Reason died in the dark.
I've long awaited our reunion, Renekton.
Yeah.
How fitting it's on the battlefield.
Renekton's not wrong there, though.
To say to me?
Take your place, General.
Ah,
I
man.
mourn the loss of Shurima's greatest
He really
hero.
doesn't want to fight his brother.
He was betrayed
I mean, who
by
would?
his brother.
Rage burns away all that is good in you, Renekton.
Rage.
Betrayal did that long ago.
You got it wrong, Renekton. I wonder if there really is ever going to be a time that we get a cure for Renekton. That'd be really
You
cool.
are a pale shadow of your former self, Renekton.
Ooh, that's an insult.
Things grow pale, locked away in the dark.
Yeah.
We stand in the footprints of past
Sanctum
long
Conservator.
trodden.
Those were ours from another time.
What do you sense, Guardian?
I smell would-be thieves.
Okay.
What good comes of mortal greed?
Nothing.
Punishment, if I serve as an example.
Punishment.
If only mortals were not driven by avarice and hatred.
True.
They will learn just as we did.
Oh.
No.
Okay, this
Take
is if
me
Renekton
instead.
dies. Oh, wow. Look at that. That shows how much he loves his brother, right? Like, I mean, I haven't questioned it at all, but man, he truly loves his brother. I mean, they've lived centuries together,
You
right?
deserve better.
Wow.
Find peace, brother.
Dude, that's so
The
sad.
cycle holds
I mean, he's
for
not
no
dead,
one.
but
I had the patience to wonder for centuries, but come on.
okay, hold on. That dude, if I heard that, if somebody used Nasus on the other team and I heard that, I would lose it.
Think carefully. There is no undoing what has been done. Consider the consequences of your actions.
That's a good one.
We grow wiser with each victory.
Very nice.
Patience and fortitude outlast all things. Perhaps Shurima was meant to fall.
Ooh. Ooh. This one kind of gets the brain tingling a little bit in terms of like, I mean, is it a good thing that Shurima's coming back? I mean, I don't know, truly, but
An errant move. An empire felled.
Men die, but
okay. We got a couple more
lives
here.
forever.
This is Nasus tier 3.
Men die, not gods.
Ooh. I love
We
that
are
response.
gods. All should fear us.
Remember yourself. We have a duty to fulfill.
Yeah, you have a duty as a god.
As I live, all will die.
Let the light burn away your corruption, Renekton.
I really like his, like, he just has really intelligent responses to everything, I feel like.
We enter an age of men and gods.
Like, reacting to himself?
Now it is that gods tire of men.
One final battle, Nasus.
Ooh.
Know that I end this with a heavy heart.
Yeah. We know.
You cannot hide forever, Nasus.
You must come into the light to find me.
Oh, I love that, actually.
Patience, brother. We have eons.
Yeah.
Eons of slaughter.
Whoa.
Mortal ties. See you beyond.
Okay, these are a little bit
In
less
death,
sad.
Freedom.
Yeah, these are way less
The
sad.
cycle continues.
The cycle continues.
Try
Oh, that's
not
enemy
the
dying.
temper of the ascended.
True.
I will not wait another eternity. I enter eternity with my face towards the sun. The
I
cycle
enter eternity with my face towards the sun. Does that mean he's just like, he's looking on the brighter side?
shall never falter. All
And what does he mean by the cycle? Life and death?
things end.
Ooh, dude. The way he said that line, I want to hear it again.
End.
The way he says end.
Mastery comes of error.
Mastery comes of error. That's true. Practice, right? That's a pretty good one as well. All right, let's go ahead and see if there's any more voice lines throughout this.
We enter an age of men and gods.
This is Devoted
We
Council.
are proud to share it with you, Curator.
Okay,
Our
calling him
city
curator.
was the first.
It's as though I never left. A millennium ago.
Yeah, seeing
You
Shurima
are
back.
just as the stories tell, Curator.
Oh, very nice. He's getting welcomed. Like he's being welcomed back without any, without any question.
Our penance is to serve, Curator.
You serve the Empire. I am but your guide.
Cool. He just seems like a friendly dude, doesn't he?
Do mortals know what awaits them?
Yeah.
Few can know what death and eternity hold in store.
Oh, well. Yeah, I guess we don't.
Do not lament the past.
Tell me, what fate awaits the Bakai?
Eternity is uncertain, but fate is mutable.
I feel like that wasn't an answer,
Answers will
Nasus.
Stop you, Mena-
Kind of feel like he dodged the question there.
We are more than counsel, Nasus.
I have need of you to enforce the cycle, sister.
The cycle.
They grow
He mentions the cycle a lot. Am I missing something here? I probably am. All right, so that does it for the Nasus Legends of Runeterra voice lines. Of course, we're going to get into a little bit more here. They're going to be the older voice lines, but still we'll take a look at those. So yeah, I mean, again, I felt like he was very intelligent in all of his responses, very non-combative. Like even in like his voice lines, he was never like angry, like very different than other champions. I feel like when they're being threatened, like everybody responds in a certain way. They might be funny or something like that. But yeah, the way Nasus responds is it's not very violent. He'll do what he has to do though, but he always seemed to have like a pretty intelligent response to everybody. Of course, during the voice lines where Renekton was dying, you know, he showed a lot of heart there and it showed a lot of love for his brother, which, you know, I never questioned it, but it just really shows the bond that the two brothers had. And of course, after so many centuries together and to have them like not be together and have Renekton thinking that Nasus betrayed him, it can be pretty sad. There's also the mention of the cycle a lot there. You guys want to let me know what he actually is referring to of the cycle? I thought he was meaning like life and death cycle or just the cycle of everything, just like life in general. But maybe there's a little bit more to this cycle that he keeps mentioning throughout these voice lines. You guys let me know about that. Other than that, yeah, I mean, like he never even like raised his voice now that I think about it. Like his voice never got any louder than it needed to. He was just calm speaking the entire time, which I don't know if I've ever seen that. And I also don't think he had the one joke I think that we laughed at. But other than that, I mean, this guy was pretty just stoic, serious. I mean, unbothered by pretty much everything except for his brother dying. That was probably the only thing that bothered him. So very interesting character Nasus is. Okay, so we're checking out the 2013, you know, visual upgrade for Nasus. Those voice lines, it's 3 minutes long. It's from Skin Spotlights. These are going to be the League of Legends voice lines. These usually go pretty fast, but let's go ahead and dive in.
Rage burned away all that was good in you, my brother. Renekton was lost long ago. You are but his pale shadow.
Okay, these are pretty similar to
Necromancy,
Legends of Runeterra.
Divination by entrails. I bring death.
I like the whatever they did to his voice.
Nothing. Life
Whatever they did to his voice makes him sound like an Ascended. And I don't know, I'm not going to be able to tell you how he sounds like an Ascended. He sounds like an Ascended, right?
is part of a cycle. Yours is over.
There's the
Your
cycle again.
soul
Your cycle is
will
over.
be measured. Death is a harsh mistress. Your spirit is
Ooh, he says death is a harsh mistress. At this time, when these voice lines were out in 2013, was Kindred out? I'm curious.
hollow. Journey into the beyond. Return to the dust. We approach a time of reckoning. This too must end. Some spirits are fated to burn. Eternity is beyond your reach.
Oh. Oh, these are deaths. Okay. The death noises are always so funny to me. I'm sorry. The slow breath out. Like the final breath. Oh, those sound scary.
Who let the dogs out?
Oh, stop it. Stop that.
Wolf, wolf.
I hadn't thought of that song. And he's barking? What is happening? Riot, what are you doing?
No, I will not fetch the ball.
Oh,
My
goodness.
bite is worse than my bark.
Oh, goodness. These voice lines. Ew, I don't like the laugh.
There, for grace I go. It is never ending. Their death
Never ending. Is he referring to
awaits.
cycle?
Do not try my patience. Between life and and death.
Oh, a lot of
lies
patience references as well.
immortality. Perhaps Shurima was meant to fall.
Okay, we heard that one.
Some things must remain buried.
Ooh.
Eons pass like days. The sky is not but dying stars. For centuries, I have watched burdens sleep best in their tombs.
Ooh.
No dawn comes.
Ooh, burdens best sleep in their tombs. I love that.
Darkness. I walk through the ages. Shurima
Ooh.
is not of this time. Errant
That's true.
words may fell empires. The past is a tapestry of what lies ahead.
Whoa, the past is a tapestry of what lies ahead. Dude, this man has a way with words, y'all. All right. I say that and then he gets to grunting.
Wither.
Wither.
Become dust. Waste away. Perish. Your legacy shall drift away, blown into eternity like the sands of the desert. There is such potential in one mortal life. You have wasted yours.
Ooh, wow. That very last voice line, you've wasted your one mortal life when there's so much potential with it. That's an ultimate insult. Okay, so the stupid, funny ones with the who let the dogs out and the woof woof and all that, I don't know, it took me out a little bit. Usually I like those kind of voice lines, like the random funny ones, but I don't know. Some of these old ones, they're just, I don't know, they're still okay. I don't think like they're ultimately cringe yet, but to me, they got pretty close. You guys let me know though what you think of those like old voice lines like that. I think they're fine, but they're very close to almost being cringe. And who knows, in like 10 years from now, are those voice lines still going to be any good? I thought these overall, you know, in the in-game League of Legends voice lines, I thought these were pretty good actually. I think, you know, for having an older champion, having these 3 minutes of voice lines wasn't too bad. I know a lot of other League of Legends champions, they don't even have this many, and they're very old and they haven't had any updates to their voice lines or anything. So I thought these were pretty good. He had some like pretty interesting ones as well, like the past is a tapestry of what's to lie ahead, those kinds of things. This little insult at the very end. He has like some really, like, I don't know, he says some things that get me thinking a little bit, which is kind of interesting. He did mention the cycle, and then he also mentions patience a lot. So he has a lot of patience, right? I would say that's probably something that he has over a lot of other champions, is he probably is a very patient person. But then once once his patience runs out, that's when he gets to his combative side, right? So, all right, guys, these voice lines were fantastic. I really enjoy Nasus. I enjoy all the Ascended lore and Shuriman lore. We've done Azir now, we've done Renekton, and now we've done Nasus. We do still have Xerath to do. We'll do him last. I know he might be kind of a little interesting in the sense that I don't know too much about Xerath, other than what we've learned from all of these other reactions. I don't know if there's any more that's going to be going on there, especially after he's been let out of the tomb. There's all kinds of stuff that he's probably been doing that I don't really know about, so that'll be pretty interesting. But back to Nasus. I mean, in terms of where I would like the Nasus lore to go, obviously we have him in Azir rebuilding Shurima. I would love for Shurima to make a full comeback. Unless they end up becoming evil or something, but I don't think that'll be the case. And I really want them to find a cure for Renekton. Maybe like Nasus and Azir will work together in creating a cure or finding the cure for Renekton's ailment and why he's all crazy like this. I think that'd be really awesome to have all three of them back together again, like ruling Shurima or running Shurima again. I think that'd be awesome. Again, don't know if they're saving that for the MMO. Who knows? At this point, I really like, I've mentioned this before with other reactions to intelligent champions, and not to say other champions are dumb, but you know what I mean? Like average intelligence champions are okay. But when I find these really unique, like really intelligent champions like Nasus here, I mean, we can even say, Camille is a very intelligent champion as well. I think Caitlyn's very intelligent. Like those really intelligent champions, in my opinion, I just like how they think, and I like getting into their brains and like kind of learning how they think compared to some of the other champions as well. So Nasus is up there in terms of like what I think of when I'm gonna think of like an intelligent champion in the future. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, Nasus is one of those guys. I mean, first off, he's lived for centuries. He's learned a lot of knowledge about things. Obviously, there's a lot of things he probably still doesn't know about because he's only kind of been in the whole Shurima area, and you know, he might not be caught up in all the Piltover stuff, right, or anything like that, but he's still going to be a very intelligent champion in my mind. And like going forward, if I need to reference an intelligent champion, I'd probably talk about Nasus. All right, guys, if I missed anything in this, as usual, please let me know in the comments. Please do leave a thumbs up on the reaction. I appreciate that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.